We live in a world obsessed with both learning and doing. We chase new ideas, new systems, new tools, and yet many of us still feel stuck. We tell ourselves we're being productive because we're busy. We tell ourselves we're learning because we're consuming. But deep down, we sense a gap between what we know and what we actually do. This episode is about that gap. Because real progress doesn't come from learning more or doing more, it comes from connecting the two. Welcome back to Digital Perivalon. Today, we're exploring the balance between knowledge and productivity, and why mastering that balance might be the single biggest advantage you can develop. Everywhere you look, knowledge is infinite. Books, newsletters, podcasts, courses. We collect more information in a week than people once did in a lifetime. And yet, many of us feel overwhelmed, not enlightened. We mistake consumption for progress. The more we read, the smarter we feel. But unless we apply it, nothing really changes. This is what I call the knowledge trap. It's when learning becomes a comfortable form of procrastination. You convince yourself you're improving when really you're avoiding the discomfort of action. Stephen Covey once said, "Knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing." That hits hard because it's true. Information without application is potential energy. It only becomes power when it moves. So if you've ever caught yourself thinking, I just need one more course, one more book, one more idea, remember, learning is supposed to fuel motion, not replace it. On the other side of the spectrum lies another trap, the productivity fallacy. We fill our calendars, optimize our routines, track our minutes. We do more than ever, but we often achieve less than what truly matters. Because productivity without reflection becomes mechanical. You can be efficient at the wrong things. We celebrate motion instead of meaning. We tick boxes that don't move us forward. John Dewey wrote, "We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience." Without that reflection, productivity becomes noise. And noise doesn't lead to growth, it leads to burnout. Real productivity isn't about speed, it's about direction. It's what happens when knowledge and action move in sync. So how do we align learning with doing? Think of it as a feedback loop, not two separate goals. Every time you learn something new, ask 3 questions. Where can I use it? When will I apply it? How will I review what happens? That cycle turns passive knowledge into active productivity. When you apply what you learn, you discover nuances books can't teach you. When you reflect on those results, you extract insights you can't find online. That combination, reflection and action, is what transforms effort into growth. Napoleon Hill once said, "Action is the real measure of intelligence." He wasn't dismissing thinking, he was saying that smart thinking demands follow-through. In practice, the most effective people aren't those who know the most, they're the ones who integrate what they know fastest. Knowledge becomes wisdom only when it's tested in reality. Let's make this concrete. If you use Notion or any knowledge system, create a link between your learning database and your projects database. Every time you capture a note or highlight, connect it to a project or experiment. That's how you make knowledge productive and link back to your everyday projects. Example, you read about the Feynman technique. Link it to your next presentation task. You study time blocking, link it to your weekly planning template. That way, the knowledge that you've gained continues to become active in your everyday life. Tools like Readwise can really help resurface your best insights at just the right time. But the key isn't the tool, it's the connection between ideas and action. In systems thinking, there's a concept called a reinforcing loop. When knowledge feeds action and action feeds reflection, the loop accelerates your growth exponentially. Knowledge alone is potential. Productivity alone is motion. But together, they create momentum. Let's redefine progress. Progress isn't how many books you've read or how many hours you've worked. Progress is how much understanding you've turned into impact. Ask yourself weekly, what did I learn? What did I apply? What did I improve as a result? If you can answer those 3 questions honestly, you're already ahead of most people. Because the real measure of productivity isn't output, it's learning applied. That's how individuals, teams, and even societies evolve. Each iteration makes the next one better. Each reflection compounds into deeper capability. Knowledge and productivity are not rivals, they're partners. Knowledge gives direction, productivity gives momentum. One without the other leads to imbalance. Here on Digital Perivalon, that's exactly what I'm exploring, how to connect learning and action so the things we know don't just fill our minds, but reshape how we live and work. Every episode I'm sharing ideas that have helped me close that gap so they can compound through you, through your projects and your impact. The goal isn't to learn more or to do more, it's to understand deeply and act effectively. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who's stuck between learning and doing. They might just need this bridge. And here's your reflection for today. What's one idea you've learned recently that you can apply right now? Leave your answer in the comments. And let's keep learning and doing in motion. Thank you for watching.